motion carried. Okay. All right, we'll call the February 24th Planning Commission meeting to order at 6:35 p.m. We have Dick Bratton, Mrs. Mayor, Dominic Turnbull, Eric Caldwell ready, present. Mark Massa is absent. Okay. Does anyone have any additions, deletions, or corrections to the agenda besides me? Yes. So we were going to add a review of the procedure for permit application, the use tax fee for permits. And we can make that last and we make that 7C.
What is that again?
The procedure for permit application, it's where somebody wants to do something that would go before planning commission. Historically, they would go to town hall or the planning commission for approval, pay the use tax. The use tax was typically collected at town hall. We switched that to where it is collected at regional, and we get into discussion of that.
Okay.
And then Mike, that's basically so.
Isley?
Yes. Okay. I got your email. We're going to add you in number 4 under public input.
Thank you.
I have a motion to accept the amended agenda.
Move to approve the agenda as presented
I'll second it.
and amended.
All those in favor, vote by saying aye. Okay. And consent agenda, approved planning commission minutes of February 10th, 2015. All right, so do one sentence that I requested to be added to 6A. And it was the addition of a statement to the effect that the planning commission determined that the use of the pantry was consistent with what had been approved.
Yeah, and I apologize, I didn't add the change to this agenda and the minutes. You don't have the current copy.
Okay.
So the changes have been made.
Okay, correct. So it's in there, then get me the new one to sign.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman, with that addition, I would move that we approve the minutes as presented.
I'll second it.
All those in favor, vote by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? And then 4, public input. Mike Isley
Yes.
is here with Relay for Life.
Yes, sir. Yeah, this is Tyler Schultz. He's direct hire for American Cancer Society.
Tyler, what was your last name again?
Schultz.
You need to come up to the podium.
Up to the podium, so we can get you on camera.
Get you on camera. Thank you.
Well, thanks for having us. Basically what we wanted to do is just come and talk to you guys about the Relay for Life event that we have going on at the UPass Cultural Center on June 12th, 2015. In case you guys don't know what Relay for Life is, it's an event to raise money for the American Cancer Society. And while people hear relay, they think of a running race. It's actually a walking event, an 8-hour walking event from 4 p.m. until midnight on the 12th of June. And what happens is we get a whole bunch of different teams that want to take part in the event. They fundraise beforehand, and then at the event itself, we've got different entertainment and DJs and music playing and games and things like that, while different people as part of the event walk around the designated area around the cultural center and the library at the cultural center in Woodland Park. So basically what we're here to do is just try and promote it, and we want to get as much involvement as possible. like I said, it's an 8-hour event, and we want to have as many people coming and taking part in it as possible, whether that's in building a team and the different teams, like I said, fundraise ahead of time, and then at the actual event, they would have at least one member of the team walking around the track at all times while the other people can be, participating in the games or doing other types of fundraisers or just enjoying the activities going on. But we're going to be having food and entertainment, things like that for all of those people. Also, aside from teams, we're looking for people who want to join our planning committee. People who would come. We have a meeting once a month on the first Tuesday of every month at 6 p.m. at People's Bank in Woodland Park. So we're looking for people who are interested in getting a little more involved and helping plan out this event that's happening. And then finally, we're looking for sponsors, businesses or people who want to do in-kind donations, whether it's something for a silent auction, food donations, things like that. And then those sponsors would then be recognized depending on their sponsorship level at the actual event, with things like signs around the track and with their name being recognized, their logo on different materials for the event and things like that. So again, we're just looking for as much participation as possible. We want to try and make this event as big as it can be. We want to get all of UPass involved and try and make it a really great event. We have the fire department coming. They're going to set up a truck. We might have a race car there and some other different fun things like that. So this is our event lead for the event. This is Mike Isley, and he's been in UPass for a long time. And he can tell me a
Since the 60s.
Tell me a little bit about yourself.
Old timer. My first recollection of cancer was 1955. I was probably that big. And my mom took us 3 kids to the hospital. Uncle Tom had cancer. Well, back then, you find out later, it was pretty much a death sentence. And fast forward to 1969, my brother-in-law's sister only wanted to make it to 16. Leukemia took her out. Forward again, 2005, my wife had colon cancer. 2010, I had cancer. And we have recovered. And we're just trying to get support. The cancer survival rates in 1968 were 42%. Now they're 68%. They're on the rise, and they're doing a lot of marvelous stuff. But the funding has to go on. That's what we're about. American Cancer Society has raised $3.9 billion over the years for research. Much of it stays here. It goes to the University of Colorado and other colleges. We've got some literature on that. But I'm just asking everybody for their support. It's very important because cancer reaches probably most of us. You know somebody, or you have a family member, a friend, or even somebody you don't know. That's why I'm pushing for it. I've got friends right now that are in hospice. They're not doing so well. But we have success too. The fire chief girl in Woodland, she beat lymphoma. It's in remission. So that's why I'm pushing so hard. So if anybody can help us, that's where we're at. I hope I didn't take too long.
No, I've got a couple questions. So, so the fundraising, is that typically through a pledge for X number of laps, or how do
It can really be any way. It's really open to any possible way that you want to do fundraising, whether with your team, you can do selling jewelry, or you can have a car wash or a bake sale or any type of thing, or if you wanted to do something where you pledge a certain number of laps, that's also a possibility. But it's really very open to any possible type of fundraising that you want to do. And then at the actual event itself, the different teams have a little tent or a little booth set up, and then they might have, the one time that I actually did Relay for Life back when I was at Penn State for school, and one of the teams, they built a little jail up. It was a thing where you could pay $2 and put somebody in jail, and then they had to stay in jail until someone paid another $2 to get them out of jail. There's other things that go on at the event. I had one time, one of the relays that I was at, there was a karaoke thing where you could pay $5 to go up and sing karaoke in front of everybody, and then if they were really bad, you could pay $10. So it's really open. There's lots of different possibilities for fundraising before the event and then during the event as well.
So somebody walking from a team constantly is more that in itself isn't fundraising, that's just a show of support.
Exactly. The idea is cancer never sleeps. So, there's actually 5,200 Relay for Life events that go on across the country each year. Over 4 million people take part in Relay for Life, and it changes depending on each location. Some of the other events are overnight. Some of them are shorter. Ours is a shorter event. It's just 8 hours, but again, yeah, that's the idea. Is just cancer never sleeps. So if we have one person walking on. So, but yeah, like we said, any way that you guys could help us out, if you're interested in joining a team or being on the committee, or you know anyone who could be interested, we'd love to hear about it. We'd love to let them know more information, or let you guys know more information about what's going on.
Okay. And then I guess you referenced to I think a logo and merchandise. I'm thinking T-shirts from a 5K, 10K where a sponsor gets a logo on the back of the T-shirts. Are you going to have something like that to where if the town or someone made a minimum donation of X, they would get a logo or something?
Yeah, we've got T-shirts. So we've got T-shirts that go out to all the participants, and that's one they'll get the logo on the back of the T-shirt. And then, like I said, we have different track signs that are throughout around the lap that people would see their thing, and then also on the actual agenda for the day and everything, their logo will be there. It'll be on our website, things like that. It all depends on the sponsorship level and stuff like that.
Do you have a dollar figure, rough, if not accurate,
Well,
approximate for a logo?
Well, it kind of ranges. I mean, we have sponsorship levels from $250 to $5,000. So I'm not exactly sure what it is. I think it might be just the $250 and $500 level for on the T-shirt and stuff like that. Sponsor will get track signs, and that goes for like in-kind donations and stuff like that. If someone wanted to donate food or something along those lines, we could recognize them as a sponsor to whatever the value of their donation would be.
You mentioned planning committee meetings the first Tuesday of the month,
First Tuesday of every month at People's Bank,
People's Bank.
and that's at 6 p.m.
Same time as
Yeah.
board
The board meetings are then,
I
but
know,
I'm just
that's a-
putting
that's a
this out to our
weird talk,
people.
Yeah, that's what we were told Tuesdays. I love it. Busy for you guys,
Yes.
but yeah, so that's what it is, and you can spread the word about that. We're always welcoming new people to that.
So the contact is you then.
Yep, and I don't know if
Do you have business cards or something?
Yep.
We do, yeah.
Yeah, I could just tell you guys all this card that pass those around. I don't know if you guys have.
When is the last day to sign up for doing any of this?
I've got one more for you.
So when is the last day to sign up for doing any of this?
One of the most successful parties at Woodland Park, fundraising, they filled their whole store with garage sale items, and then they had a garage sale and they made money. And also, they had a home cooked meal that they kind of auctioned off in their house. So there's all kinds of ideas on fundraising. And the teams, usually there's a kind of a basic loose rule, like if you have 10 team members and they raise $100 each, sliding scale. Yeah, it's kind of a loose goal, not a firm and hard. Obviously, if you raise more, it's better.
Yeah.
In terms of signing up, you can sign up anytime. The sooner the better, because that way you can, start fundraising their logo out there the sooner the better. But really, you can sign up anytime. We're actually having what we're calling a kickoff at the Circle H Smokehouse on the 4th of March, which is next Wednesday, and we're going to have computers and stuff and information and things like that for people to come and sign up their teams and get some information about the relay. But signing up teams is actually really easy. You can just go to our website, which is relayforlife.org/youpass, and you just press register, sign up team, and then it takes about 5 minutes. So it's a very simple thing, so people can do it at any time.
And you spoke with Mr. Lohman about talking to the chamber here, the UPass Triangle Chamber.
Yeah, we'd love to.
That would be awesome if y'all can connect, because our business is in the area. This might be something
Mhm.
that they would want to help out them.
Cool, yeah, well, that'd be great. Like we said, we're trying to get as much involvement as possible. Teams and stuff, and then at the day of the event, people coming in, and we're gonna have signs all throughout Woodland Park to get people there and get as much crowd as possible, so. It's gonna be a fun event, we're really looking forward to it, and just want to get it going, and, you know, the more people that get involved, it just grows exponentially, so that's what we're hoping
This is the first year up here?
for. No, actually, they've been doing it here for 23 years.
Oh, wow.
This is our first year that we're doing it at the Cultural Center.
Good, good move there, huh?
Well, I haven't really gotten involved with this yet.
But, yeah, that's the thing, you know, we wanna get the word out to those people who haven't heard about it here before.
Perfect.
All right, very good.
And thank you guys again for letting us come and talk to you guys.
And you have brochures and stuff?
I do.
You're gonna leave some,
Yeah,
that would
yeah,
be
we'll
great.
leave some with you guys. And again, if you guys have any questions, or want any information, you can contact me anytime.
Is this something to put out on Facebook and stuff?
Yeah, definitely.
And is it appropriate to put out your contact
Sure,
information?
absolutely. Yeah, anyone can contact me, so that would be perfect.
Perfect.
So, all right.
I can do that.
Well, thank you guys.
Thank you, Tom.
Thank you. Nice to meet you.
Thank you.
Yeah, you did. Pass these around. Thank you.
Yes. Can you leave these with us? Yeah.
Here's that meeting. Thank you again.
And the kickoff is March 4th.
March 4th at the Circle H Smokehouse, and it's got an open house anytime between 5 and 7 p.m.
Where is this? Is that the one over?
It's on Browning Avenue,
Yes.
and it's, right next to, it's right off of 24, right after 67,
Right,
Website, Park State.
from 5 to 8,
Okay.
5 to 7.
5 to 7.
Yep.
Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Nice to meet you guys.
Nice to meet you.
Okay. All right, next we have a public hearing, special use permit for vacation rental and level 350 Belvedere.
Oh, we have one public
Oh. Thank you.
Anyway, as a public input, today I received a notification from the board on cellular phone, people in the UPass area. Now, what the board allowed me to do was to investigate putting a tower here behind town hall or by the swimming pool or in a park at the far town. Now, the way the cellular phone people work is they've gone through with their RF people and determined circles of interest. And 2 of our locations are within the circles of interest. And so I decided to brief you that an agent will be coming to the town asking, how much would we charge for them to put an antenna? So that was just good news this afternoon.
I guess one question. Is a cell tower good for all carriers or is it carrier specific?
It's usually carrier specific, but as with the tower that's across the road here, all 4 companies use it. It's based on traffic. And since UPass is now getting so much more traffic because of the new religious center and the like, that Greenmount Falls has now become a more viable place to put an antenna. And so that's how much, at this point, everything becomes very secretive with the companies because they're going to come and ask you what would you charge for so many square feet of property. So, yes,
Which 2 of the 3 sites you mentioned?
they haven't told me that.
Oh.
Mainly because they're worried about somebody
Okay.
upping the prices. So, and I plan to come to the board with the whole thing, at least how you guys are advised as well. So,
Thank you.
thank you.
It's exciting
Thank you,
stuff.
Mike. Yeah, I mean,
Yes.
I can see this is the predominant carrier.
Well, I think it's nice.
Because my neighbor has Verizon and can't call, but can text. I've got AT&T, but I've got no service here. I've got a microcell at the house, so.
I,
But what would benefit the majority of the people? Rhetorical question.
see what they have to say.
Actually, Sprint is the one that seems to be most responsive. And it has the best signal throughout the pass. But, once again, you can also stand on cell phone rock in front of the Blue Moose.
Yeah.
And you get all service there.
Tyler, what service do you have?
I have AT&T
AT&T.
and no service when I came in here.
That's
Yeah,
right.
that's what I was just saying, I'm
Yeah.
AT&T, I've got, it's searching.
Yeah.
Verizon, it's
I have
That's where
Verizon.
it's vested on that side of the room, but not vested on this side of the room.
no bars.
I have one bar, Verizon. So, okay.
I know you're voting. Any other public input? Okay, public hearing. Anime. And you're here for the public hearing. And we posted signs, sent out letters. All right, so let's call the public hearing to order at 6:57. Mary, how many letters?
3,
3. And responses?
0.
0 responses.
I spoke with all my neighbors, well, my neighbors live right around me, talked to them a little about it, so that maybe. Of course, you usually get, you get a response plus or minus, right? You get a positive or negative. You got
Or no
nothing.
response.
Yeah,
Right.
no news is good news.
Is your house the one that's being remodeled back there? This is,
It's a little one-room cabin. Changed it to a 3-bedroom house.
okay, it has rather impressive entryway.
Yes, the windows at the back.
Is it before I own it or after I own
After,
it? After I own it.
it's 4 or 5 houses from the end, something like that.
On a bride.
It's impressive.
Mr. Ellis.
Okay.
It's for the public hearing.
Does anybody else here wish to speak?
Come on, tell us what a great idea it is.
That's awesome.
Is the intent to use it predominantly as a rental house
No.
during the summer, or is it?
It's really my year-round residence. And I'm literally trying to recoup some of the expense of the building by taking a couple months in the summer,
Okay.
moving out and letting strangers live there. But we've had, I do a rental in Woodland Park, so I've had a history, a 7-year history of doing vacation rental.
Okay.
And so I'm pretty comfortable with how the process works, and the caliber of people we get is really amazing. They're wonderful families that come in. We've already had, Green Mountain Falls is amazing. People, we've already had some response from people who come here every year, like our family has, And so they have such an emotional connection to the town. They come back every year for their vacation.
How many, how many cars are gonna be parked there? Is there any parking information that I'm missing?
We have a 2-car garage, and then we have parking space right in front of the 2 bays.
Okay,
If they don't want to drive inside. I wouldn't guess more than 2 cars, so it'd be off
Okay, because it's a two-bedroom, right?
It's, it's a 3-bedroom, one is kind of, it's a 2+, one's kind of a den. We'll advertise it for 6.
Okay.
6 people to stay there. So I
So if
would,
you had 3 cars, there's plenty of room.
yeah,
Put one in the garage.
they could get 3 cars in there, yeah, off street. Yeah, well, and that's a good point, that we should make a note in our other house, we have a whole design where they can park and where they can't, that we show them. So we'll let them know about that, to make sure that they know they can't park on the street, because there is a very convenient looking space right across from the house.
And there's probably a sign not too far from it that has the tow truck.
Yeah,
no parking.
yeah.
Yeah.
But,
No,
I
I
think
mean,
they'll be-
there's numerous signs up there. I frequent the Catamount Trail. And then, so you would amend your house rules to,
we will add the parking issue in the house rules, and then I think we'll also just, well,
we could I could see it being as simple as no on-street parking,
right,
or all parking must be off-street.
we just want to make sure that they don't think they can drive up onto certain parts of the property that has a septic system in it, so we'll probably draw a map to them to see. We have a whole house booklet that they can look at, so they're clear on where they can park even on the property. But we'll definitely add an item to the house rules. And you want me to file that with you when I get that corrected?
Yeah, you would file that with Mary.
Okay.
If there's no other comments, we'll close the public hearing at 7:02 p.m. Any further discussion?
Ms. Banton, is this going to be listed on VRBO then?
Yes. It's home away and VRBO.
We are looking at VRBO right now to go on vacation.
Yeah,
Yes, we
it's
like
such a
VRBO.
great.
And then home away.
Yeah, they have some wonderful places all over.
Mr. Chairman, move to approve a special use permit application for 11350 Belvedere for a vacation rental.
I'll second that.
All those in favor, vote by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Okay. And then we find that, I'm not sure if I'm supposed to do this before or after, we find that the petition conforms to the requirements of the zoning ordinance. The use conforms to the requirements of the use. The use is consistent with the goals and objectives of the master plan. Neighboring land uses are compatible with the contemplated use. The use will not result in an oversensitive use of the land. The use will not result in undue traffic congestion or traffic hazards. The use will not be unreasonably detrimental to public health, safety, and welfare. Old business, Blackbird Distillery.
Woo!
Unanimous.
So tonight's snack break
Oh,
is sponsored
wait,
by
understand, you're still
Blackbird Distillery.
cookies.
Here's your donkey cookies.
Is this a bribe?
It's just a cookie.
That is so cute.
Looks like a bribe to me.
My wife's working on the donkey. This was
That is so sweet.
awesome.
That is so
This is I might not get many more chances to do that because I got good news. So
It's so
Oh, God, they are nice.
that's my wife. She's
Good
like a
looking
genius.
donkey.
You want to pass this around for us? Thank you.
There, hold it up.
Okay. Donkey cookies in hand. So, the result of the last meeting, so this is donkey meeting number 4. The result of the last meeting was awesome, okay? Well, it's getting real simple real quick. It was really complicated, now it's getting simple. I have the official meeting Thursday night with the property owners down the street, but the initial phone conversation was awesome. They've already had animals there. This is multiple acres. The creek goes through it. There's a barn with electricity, everything. It's a done deal. So that would be down the street in that place you remember had horses and stuff before, where the foals were, as suggested. So what would happen then?
Down the street.
Yep, down to Spruce.
McGarry?
Yeah.
Okay.
So as suggested, it worked out perfect. So you guys rock. That's why I came here in the first place, to get help.
What was the essence of your conversation?
Oh, I just asked him how they. I want to have a full meeting with him, and he set up Thursday for me to meet with him, and I asked him what he would think about having a couple donkeys there, and he said it was a great idea. So we're looking good. Here's my prediction. I've also talked to a couple other neighbors. So far, everybody thinks it's a great idea. So I don't think I'm gonna have any problem if I do all of them coming. That'll happen. So here's what I think is gonna happen. I think that next meeting, I should have some letters from him and a deal set up with him. And hopefully, if all that falls in line with you guys, get your recommendation, move on to the town council at that point. So I think we only have one more meeting. That's why we brought cookies. But here's the update, because it changed a little bit after I figured out what I said, because I was confused. And the original draft was all about having them living there. And I like this better anyway. A lot more land. Yeah, you can have extra bonus folders for everything. But this is just an update. It just tells everything I just said, super simple. And it basically just says that I've got a meeting on Thursday, and what would be happening is they would be living there. They'd be coming down in the daytime, and there would be a little pin there, very nice, little sign, so everybody could pet the donkeys and see the donkeys move the little wheel, and it'd be awesome. And we can walk them up and down and have one of my guys, walk them down the street there in the morning and evening. I think it's beautiful. So everything's going great. I hope to have, like I said, I'll get off the stage. I hope to have a meeting, if I can get on the agenda, I hope to have letters from neighbors and an agreement for the property, and then hopefully we move forward from there. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Thank you guys so much for last meeting. You took a lot of time, and you have a short thing going on here, and it was a whole thing basically. Thank you for taking the time to do that. Thank you for clarifying this idea, because I like it better, my family likes it better, the donkeys will probably like it better. The donkey people, we've got several different sets of donkeys that will work, that are all very like pet donkeys, where they can even stay at your house kind of donkeys. And we're looking at figuring out the best ones. But they love this idea because it means daily interaction, daily exercise, everything going back there. I mean, they love it. So, and because there's 2 different properties involved. So everything I can figure out is perfect. So if you have any questions for me, otherwise I'll see you next.
Questions? Go ahead, Chair.
I was talking to a neighbor, and I'll reword his question, but how many other stone mills are there that you're aware of in Colorado?
Yeah.
And is there a business opportunity for you to do something more with the mill than just for your meetings? The last meeting, we were using roughly 3 hours, 3 days a week. There's 168 hours in a week. You're barely using 7%, 5% of available time. If somebody comes to you, hey, I want you to stone grind all my grain, and it's 60 hours worth.
Well, there's a couple problems, although I'd love to be helpful if I could for somebody. There's a couple problems. First of all, the system is not effective. It's not efficient. That's the whole point. It's an old stone grinding system from a couple hundred years ago. So it's so much easier for them to just grind it electronically. You can get it grinded almost anywhere electrically. there's probably hundreds of places that can grind this stuff super fast, super cheap electrically. So this would be very strange that anybody would want the expense of doing something like that. You know, and I don't know for sure exactly how, we'll walk them down in the morning, take them back at evening, and, you know, I don't want to put any other strain on them than what we're already doing, because what if we need to go, you know, a couple days a week, 6 hours, whatever, you know, switch the donkeys out, whatever it is. I don't know for sure exactly the volume. This is all totally experimental. So I wouldn't want to take anything else on until long after it's fully settled in and see what's happening. It would also be very hard to make any money. This is not a money-making proposition when it comes to the donkey part. This is more like a show.
Yeah, marketing and appeal.
Yeah. And only a percentage of the mash itself for the liquor, only a percentage has to be the house malted hand ground stuff. Those enzymes will affect the rest of the mash. So you don't have to mash it, you don't have to hand grind everything, donkey grind everything. So I'm trying to make the donkeys more mascots and pets and friends, and, you know, sort of symbols than anything else. It sort of symbolizes the green nature of it, the sustainable, non-fossil fuel nature of the whole project. So I wouldn't want to take anything else on. I mean, later down the road, if something would be different. But also, we don't have a whole lot of volume. The collection thing is, you know, a trough like this around the stalls. It's not a high volume operation.
Yeah, I can see it. I can see that. I'm just, you know, I'm guessing that thought may have crossed your mind as an opportunity. It may present itself as an opportunity. If somebody throws enough cash at you. You're in business.
Hand them a couple buckets of ground wheat for their bread. I don't know.
So, I mean, it's just, with that in mind, you know, you're starting out at X capacity. You may find in 6 months, 9 months, a year, or 2 years, demand is quickly exceeding your current throughput. What do you do to keep up with demand, or is you just jack up the price?
If we're ever making enough money and selling enough product that the donkeys can't keep up, basically, we'll substitute. Everybody else in the world, when they do the same exact process, they just purchase the malted grain ready to go. Everybody in the world, every other distillery in Colorado, for instance. So we could just, we could just add that. So let's say we start with 20% of the overall grain used for the donkeys. Let's say it goes down to 5% 50 years from now, and 25% is bought in. It's still going to give it a unique flavor. It's still going to be very special. So that's I'm always going to be grinding with them, but never. I'll still be able to increase production.
I'm just thinking.
There will be a
I
cap.
might be inclined to see a cap, and then that limits what. And so.
Well, that's the still.
Do
The
you
still
have
is,
an alternative power source for other use?
well, the whole thing, just to further answer your question, the whole thing is set up at a certain volume. So the still size, the cooker size, the fermenters are all a certain size. The still being 400 gallons means that one still run equals 1 barrel. You can't run twice a day no matter what you do. So no matter what, we're at 2 barrels a day, and that's maximum period. So there wouldn't be any way to go over the limit. And that's been calculated at a fairly easy work week for the donkeys. So really, there's no way to surpass that unless we were to get a bigger still. And we'd have to add on the property at some point. We'd have to have more land and more buildings to do more operations than that. 2 barrels a day is targeting 1 barrel every other day initially, and that's a 3, 4, 5 year goal. So if we're at a 2 barrel a day max, then you're looking at still not. I mean, we can't out use the donkeys. We're not going to. That's the whole point. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Everything's designed together. The donkey output, the stone output, the cookers, the still, everything's designed together. Anything else? Sir?
Victor, the first 3 times you came here, you held the line pretty strong about housing the donkeys overnight on your property. Have you seen the knowledge or the wisdom of the suggestion that you not try to pursue that? Because that's a direct violation of a town ordinance.
Yes.
So Can I say that you now agree donkeys will not be kept on the Black Bear property overnight?
Yes,
That's a big step forward.
yes, I totally understand. I
And do you agree-
didn't originally understand what was being said.
Yeah.
But once I got that, I think it makes a lot of sense.
Okay, and do you agree that you'll have a maximum of 2 donkeys on the property at any one time?
Yes, sir.
Okay? Do you agree the donkeys will be on the property only when they are being used to grind grain?
Or can there be break time? Can they be in the paddock and things like that for the visitors and stuff like that? Yeah, they're not gonna be there when they're not.
And I asked you at the last meeting, how many hours a week? Your answer was 9 hours a week.
That was per donkey, and I was planning on having them standing right next door, so,
Okay.
like 5 feet away, so this changes slightly.
Let me propose you consider this. The donkeys will be on the property a maximum of 4 hours on any single day, and a maximum of 4 days any week. That's 16 hours.
Okay, what I was,
That's, I'm talking about 1 or 2,
right,
saying.
what I was for was the time they would actually be working it. We need to have them available for visitors, photo ops, et cetera,
Well,
during the weekend of the summer especially, so.
That's not the same as when I said that you agree they would only be on the property when they're being used to grind grain. You want more hours than that.
Right, originally, what I was understanding originally was they were gonna be living there, right? That was my original
Go
misunderstanding.
over that.
They were gonna be living there, and then that was the time to be working. Now that's changed, they're not living there.
Yeah.
So we bring them down in the morning, whenever in the morning, 9, 10. They're there, they work a couple hours, they're there till before dark in the evening, 4 o'clock, whatever, we walk them back. So they're on the property 6 to 8 hours, but they're not working but a few of those hours. So that's the new idea, because I thought they
I'm trying to impress you with the fact, if you can limit the number of hours that they're there, that limits the number of hours they can poop, and that limits the number of hours that they can parade, it makes it much more palatable for you to win
Gotcha.
than the use of donkeys. But if you wanna try to keep them there most of the day, you may not win, so I'm just giving you my opinion.
No, I'm totally good.
You go anywhere, I'm telling you.
A laddered approach.
Yeah, and I'm more concerned about the hours extending on weekends anyway, and I'm more concerned about the summer anyway. I mean, no one's gonna be visiting, at 8 AM on a snowy day in the middle of February. I mean, it's not gonna be that, so I definitely understand what you're saying.
Think about that. Do you agree to clean up all manure? Cleanup of all manure will be done immediately after the grinding is completed,
Yes,
okay? And soil saturated with urine will be removed and replaced as needed to control odors,
yes.
okay?
I need a copy of whatever you're reading,
Yeah.
because that's good stuff.
Not ready to release it yet.
Okay,
I was drafting a motion because I really like the idea of having donkeys in town as a tourist attraction, provided you create an adverse impact with your neighbors that live around you. So we have to seek a way to reduce the impact on your neighbors. To me, that's the number of hours the donkeys are on site, the fact that they're staying overnight. But you still have to get approval from your neighbors. You understand that this forum here, Planning Commission, cannot approve variances. We only make a recommendation to the town board, and they're the ones that make the final determination. I'm trying to set up, this board will have to make a recommendation one way or the other. But I can't see that we can do that tonight until we hear from your neighbors.
yes, I agree, and thank you for that, but
Also with the Gary property, there are some houses down in that neighborhood. So if you're gonna keep donkeys down there, you're gonna need some concurrence from those neighbors. Okay,
luckily, I think we only have one. They own the house behind, and one to the side I already tried talking to, but they hid from me. They turned the lights off and hid out.
I'm thinking
Yeah,
of
two
adoption,
donkey coaches.
adoption property, which is adjacent to the Gary.
Is that the one that has the 4, The 4 snowmobiles out in the driveway.
Or what? Snowmobiles.
There's one
I
right
think
beside
so.
of the 4 snowmobiles.
It's
They're on the trailer.
And the other side has nothing, and behind is them and across the street, so.
Dobson property is directly west or northwest of the McGarry property.
Okay.
And they are very, very, but I wouldn't want to condone you putting donkeys next to them until you had a discussion on it.
I totally understand, I had to track them down.
Good.
I appreciate it all, I
You-
totally agree, and I appreciate it all.
Okay,
And we could always have a public hearing.
also,
Yeah, they would.
yes, you will have a public.
Yes, definitely.
This diagram that I gave you,
Yes, sir.
I did it in a hurry, and I forgot to put the people across the street. There's the Serenity Lounge across the street, there's a fire department, and there's a row of rental units owned by David Perlman. So please put those on your list of people you're gonna consult before you come back.
Okay,
Thank you.
no worries.
Michael?
I have a question as far as solid ash. Does it go up through a filter or?
Yeah, we still have the same filter in the kitchen. So it's actually gonna be a lot less than the restaurant would produce.
Okay.
Yeah, and we have, because that's not as, this one smells pretty sweet anyway, it's not a bad smell.
Okay.
I understand what you're saying, but it's not bad. Thank you so much,
Okay.
I'm on it, thank you. How are my wife's donkey cookies?
They were excellent.
Delicious. It didn't last long.
I just wanted to bring
Very good.
to your attention that the variance fee that you paid last meeting is, the variance fee application is $200. So,
Did I have an old price or something on there? Did I give you 51%?
my variance,
And listening to what the town attorney has said, I don't know that a variance is the proper vehicle for doing this. I queried some people to find out, have donkeys, burros, llamas been permitted or allowed in town before, i.e. Bronc days? Looking at that as a precedent. Has the town permitted donkeys in conflict with the existing, because the code says you're not allowed to possess. And so if you're in town in Bronc days with a burro, that's clearly in conflict with the code. So I was looking, that is, I'm not sure, I don't know anything about Bronc days, but I believe that's a special event type. So I don't know that a variance is the proper tool for getting the town's blessing, permission, authorization to do what you want to do.
And what else would it be?
Well,
Well, I do have a hardship.
special event.
What'd you say?
It's a
Oh,
special event.
But an ongoing one, like,
Yes, I don't know.
It's permanent special event.
Yeah, so I don't know that. it-
well, I answered the question that was posed last time about what would be the reason. Remember the variance hardship reason? And there's an easy answer for that, because the business is based upon this sustainability model. Therefore, not having a sustainable, non-fossil fuel source harms the business and or ends the business. So it's a very easy hardship argument. This has to happen for the business to be sustained.
Well,
Yeah, financial hardship
that's
is
not
not
It's not an argument.
an argument.
It hurts my feelings.
So I mean, I'm not,
Well, we want-
mine's not the final word on it, it's my interpretation of what I've read, what I've heard from the town attorney.
What would be a variance? What would be-
I don't know exactly, that's why I'm thinking it's a vehicle other than a variance.
To have those animals is, so I think the code says you can't own them on your property.
Right.
He's not owning them on his
He's
property.
using them, so it might be a special
Special
use.
Gentlemen, the code as written is subject to some interpretation. The intent was to keep people from keeping the animals on their property. That was the intent that was written. I know, because I wrote it. But it does not deal with temporary
Right.
You
You didn't have that, you didn't-
had donkeys visiting the
Right.
town.
Yeah.
So there may be some ground for the board to consider an approval, but not necessarily a variance to the code.
Right.
And, but we don't have to worry about that. All we have to do is tell the board, do we like the idea or not? We found out from Victor that the neighbors don't object, and then we can recommend that the town take further action with the town attorney to see what can be done. But we're not in the business of rewriting the code at this level.
Well, I just wanted to bring that up.
Yeah.
So that you are aware that there may be more fees.
Yeah, that's okay. Yeah,
Got
that's,
anything with your check, because I've been waiting.
yeah, that's the least of my worries. is the fee.
And then, Dominic, you had questions on the parking.
Yeah, so your drawing, did you consider the right of way, the street right of way?
Yeah, it's sitting back pretty well.
I'm
It's-
gonna throw
it's
out there,
already- it's already
that's
parking.
the business now.
Right.
Parking is not an issue
So he's
now.
moving the fence,
It's the same parking, you know how it goes across the front of the building?
Right.
Same place, so it keeps going.
because I thought you were gonna put a fence.
Right, but that's back where that's parallel to the front of the building.
Okay.
So the whole thing is the same parking spots, I've always been there for 50 years.
Okay.
Just extension.
Last meeting, we determined we had 15 parking spaces.
It's pole to pole.
The edge, the road is 24 feet, right? I think that's what we said,
That's correct.
24 feet. And I wanted to make sure that his parking was not within that 24 feet.
Well, it has been for,
Oh, so-
55
so
years.
years.
It's the same at 55 years, it's the same parking
Yeah,
place.
so I mean, you've got a business, you've got parking, all you're doing is changing what's
So-
going on there, so
Well,
the
you might
location of
stick
the
into
parking
the
doesn't
right of way a
change.
little bit, but we've
Yes.
tolerated it for 50 years, so.
Okay.
Perfect. Hey, thank you, Victor.
Thank you.
Thank you. My wife's got a lot of cookies to bake.
That's very nice. Tell her, good job. Yeah.
Delicious.
So you'll be on the agenda one more time here.
Thank you.
All right, moving right along. New business, special use permit, Jesse Stroop.
One more later?
So, just seeing the agenda. So my name is Jesse Stroop, and I'm property manager for about 6 different entities who volunteer in Green Mountain Falls, all related to Christmas Eve or the Patrick Foundation. And we're looking for a special use permit for a VRBO at 6870 Park Avenue.
That's the house that's under construction right now.
Correct.
It was yellow.
Yeah.
So I haven't been by there
And I
since
haven't
last
been
time I
by-
saw it.
I haven't been there either.
It will be yellow. It'll look almost just like it did.
Then, Mary, would you schedule a public hearing for, it's gonna be 15 days, correct?
We did it 10. That was to put it out. No,
Yeah, if they would go to the 24th.
24th.
So we'll schedule a public hearing for the, March the 24th.
So I have that application fee that I'll give to you and 6 letters to send out. So should we move on to the Lake Street?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Before, when you come back, could you include a list of like house rules, things like that?
Yes.
I think we have a format. Mary can give you.
Perfect. I'll bring it back.
I can email that to you, and then you could just customize it for your home.
The cabin is only gonna have one queen size bed, only sleep 2 people, 1 car, so. We will not add the office without the electric form. Bring it to next meeting. So, I'm not sure which, I wasn't sure with which project to start this beautification project. So, we looked at the revocable permit as the vehicle to do a beautification project at the terminus of Lake Street. And what we would like to do is to install public art at the end of that street and re-landscape. And in order to do that, of course, we have to overcome the existing public restrooms.
Jesse, can you just speak up a little bit?
Yes.
Yeah.
So do you want me to read through this or just answer questions based on the information I'm providing?
So it sounds like you guys will be finding it. Are the restrooms currently on town property?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I thought. And you've been financing moving the restrooms also?
Correct.
Okay.
So they're moving from town property to town property.
Property.
I made you guys a copy of that, it did come out really good, so I can guys sit down.
This would stay up all year?
Get a better copy for
The
you.
public art would stay up year round. I think this, the specific piece that we're proposing for the first installation is a 2-year project. But we would anticipate renewing the permit annually and rotating art.
And it would be up over winter?
Yes.
So how do you care for these pieces in the winter?
So the first art installation is artwork by Spencer Page. And the artist is determining which materials would last outside. We're working with the sign company and the springs, and it's more than likely going to be almost a vinyl sign that he paints to put up. And with this specific piece of art, we can take it down and replace it as needed, but we're asking the artist to have a 2-year life.
So, those restrooms are very important there. I mean, they're very important for our citizens and for visitors, and they're nice restrooms. We learned a lot about the restrooms this last year, on how to take care of them and all of that. And, we spent some money and stuff. So if you move those, you're moving those restrooms and putting them, and they're gonna be exactly like they are now, just at a different location. Correct, or what?
That is our sincere hope. I have not moved forward with, I don't know the specifics of the restrooms and how easily they're moved. I was given an original construction number of $21,000. I don't know if that's correct or not. It may be the case that it's less expensive to demo them and replace them with the same but new. But I haven't got that far into the planning. Our hope is to simply.
Water, do they have water?
No.
Are they composting?
They're composting.
Yeah.
I don't know, Dave, they're not, I don't know, they're not
Quite
that.
old.
Okay,
Yeah.
Yeah, they're right on the edge there.
Yeah.
I mean, it might work for all of us.
The demo might end up being cheaper than trying to move something that falls apart.
Yeah.
Mike Loman and his roommate, Mike Christensen, and I went into the park and put in 4 stakes where we thought would work. I like the new location because it's more convenient to the park users than over here.
So, Dick, I'm
More apparent.
confused. Okay, so I'm confused at this diagram. So where's the pantry?
Yeah, this area here,
There's a pantry.
yes,
But the restrooms are right
Restrooms are
here.
here right now.
yeah, right here.
Restrooms are here, right here, okay. And this is like that.
So here's
This is
the
the path.
so
But these would be right, the new
No, this is
location,
before.
Dick, would be right by the,
Right there.
okay, where's the lake?
Lower right.
Okay, so this is the path. This diagram, so this is the path then to get to the, and then here's the gazebo, right?
I'd wanna go out there and see.
Yeah, yeah.
That's, the exact location will be determined later. Is here is to let you know what their desire is and ask for approval of the concept. The concept is to have public art at the north end of Lake Street. Where the restrooms get rebuilt, so it can be determined later. It's gonna have to have a building permit and all that good stuff anyway.
Septic.
And it has to be engineered.
Flood, yeah, off the whole 9 yards, yeah.
And have you looked into that?
I have looked into that. I've not studied up on, I believe that was put there with the floodplain administration because it was a composting toilet and there's no septic involved. It's self-contained. So it's composting and pumped out annually, so I believe that was why it was selected.
So it should be acceptable to floodplain administrator again.
Yeah.
What we did is, years ago, we saw that they're using composting restrooms up on Pikes Peak. We talked to them and got their experience, and they said they love them. They said, they're great, low maintenance, we like them. So we put 2 in our park, and they've served us well.
I think this is a great idea that you can consider, but I would not want to get rid of the toilets to have art.
We're not getting,
Right, and I just
We're
wanna
just
make that,
moving.
exactly,
no,
exactly,
And we're moving it more into the central of.
right.
Yeah,
we're not getting rid of the toilets.
Well, that's, I didn't say we were, I said I would, I
that's
don't,
why
I
you
don't want,
want more assurance that.
I don't want art in the
I
park.
would say that
And
we're
then-
moving them to a less precarious
Exactly.
location
Yes.
that hasn't
Right.
always.
But it's hard, you know, Dick, when you mentioned it's hard to look at this, you know, to agree to this if we don't have a clear picture of where the toilets are gonna be and making sure that, you know, they're gonna be there. And that we're not gonna have issues with any, you know,
Well,
anything like that. So,
Lori, I understand your concern. I think that I picked out a acceptable location.
I think we should all go out and take a look at
Yeah,
it.
you can.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Is it marked off?
But I'm telling you, the location, exact location
Yeah,
of the
it's
toilets
that.
does not have to be determined tonight.
Sure.
But Jesse needs to have some assurance that the town will let him put the public art there, so he can get the art done, paid for, and he can start the engineering on moving the toilets. There's a lot of work to be done. He can't wait until everybody goes out there and looks and decides, yeah, you know.
I have a pretty, I mean, looking at the drawing, I can see pretty much where it is, and I think that's something we can support.
are we gonna beautify the rest of Lake Street?
Well, they're gonna do
I
some,
mean, you
They're
know,
putting a fence
because
around the,
I mean, to have this gigantic, I love art and I love what you guys do, to have this gigantic, lovely piece of art right there when everything else is falling down.
So,
It's sort of like, oh,
Let's see.
so maybe getting some lighting put up.
So, and we are, with the art installation, we would be landscaping, re-landscaping that piece of land and adding lighting, which we would probably tie in over to the Green Box Workshop, and then maintaining it for the life of the permit.
Sidewalk.
There's a sidewalk that exists in front of the restroom, which would have to be removed, because that's exactly where the art would sit. We don't want to go too far into to the creek bank.
Right,
And we're also very conscious of what floodplain would even allow us to put there as far as use of art.
and you do realize that that area flooded real bad. So whatever art you put there could get damaged.
Needs
one
an
of these days.
elevation.
No,
So this is
The water, the toilets and all of that area were ruined during the flood.
Oh, I think
So-
you meant during the flood.
Yes. So that water came right into the park area where the swings are and everything.
It looks to me like the drawing, the artwork is considerably above the grade. Can put it above flood level.
Honestly, this is a conceptual piece of art, so the value is in the concept and not in the nuts and bolts of it. So if it's something that we lost, if it's something that we have to replace, we can just do it.
You'll notice in his letter that the Kirkpatrick Family Fund will pay for all expenses.
Yeah.
For the artwork, the toilets either relocated or moved. There would not be $1 of town funds or taxpayers' money used for this project. I think it's a wonderful gift to the community. And I think that we should go ahead and approve the concept tonight so they can start their planning work. They want to get this done in time for Greenbox, so they're on a short fuse here.
Why don't you make a motion?
I will. I move. Just happen to have one here. I move that the planning commission recommends that the town board of trustees approve the concept of the Lake Street beautification project as outlined in the Greenbox Arts letter dated February 17th, 2015. And furthermore, and also approve the historic Green Mountain Falls Foundation February 17th application for a revocable permit for a temporary installation of public art at the north end of Lake Street.
I second that.
Any further discussion? All those in favor, vote by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed?
Thank you.
Thank you. I think it's a wonderful thing that Mr. Cassis agreed to do to make our downtown look nicer. And he's bearing all the expenses. I don't like to look a gift horse in the mouth. We have assurances that we will have either new toilets or the relocated toilets that work just as well. I don't have any fear. Let's move out of this.
Yeah, run with the donkeys, right? I'll have donkeys and art, come to Green Mountain Falls.
Not don't art, get donkey in the mouth.
Yes, don't live there,
I think it's safe to go.
we like the donkeys.
Are you
That's good.
aware of
Thank you.
the Peabody hotel in Memphis?
Paradise.
Richard Hill's rodeo.
You know what goes on there each morning?
No, we're still alive. We're still alive. Push the camera, we're still alive.
Okay. Item C, procedure for permit application. What I found in a roundabout way, a homeowner has remodeled his cabin, and it, because of the change in the process, it did not go before the planning commission formally.
Change of what process?
Prior to regional collecting the use tax,
What property? Which property?
10/820 Grandview Avenue. For those. It's across the street from my house.
Is that back Patron's house?
Now the Catamount Grandview,
Next one.
the vacant house that's been vacant for 2 years, Catamount Grandview.
So they did work without a permit.
Well, without work going before, approval going before the planning.
They went directly to regional and got a permit
Yeah.
without.
I don't see
So
how they
we
do
need a
that. How
system
could they do that?
Yeah, so, and I talked with Brett Phillips,
I got you.
and talked to him, and this is, so previously, they would go to the town clerk, and I'm not judging whether it was good or bad, it's just they would go to the town clerk would, come up with a use tax, give them a receipt for the use tax, they would take that, go down to like, regional,
Yeah.
and get a permit to do whatever they were going to do. And that demonstrated that it had gone before the planning commission. So 2 months ago,
I always
roughly,
thought that they brought the plans in, it was a submittal to us.
Yes.
We stamped it, and it was sent off to
That's
regional.
correct. In the old days, we had a rubber stamp.
Yeah.
After the commission approved it for building, the stamp and the chairman of the planning commission would sign that.
That's right, and also,
That's what the regional knew, that they could process a permit
That's
because they had stamped,
Right.
signed drawings from the town government.
okay,
that's right.
it has changed since, so now regional is collecting the use tax.
Yeah, this had
So-
nothing to do with use tax.
Well, so now, to get a permit, they just go down to regional and pay the use tax. And so the way it's currently set up, it circumvents the planning commission, architectural review.
So what we need to, get the old rubber stamp out, and start using it again.
Well,
But that,
it's not,
that might be because, there might be somebody down there new because they still, regional, if they tried to do that, would send them back here to get that stamp.
because we have stamped a couple of them. So there's,
One snuck through.
I don't know that there's a documented process for it now, but I'm gonna throw it a curve. Code requires the town clerk collect the use tax.
Needs to be changed. Only because that's,
Right.
well, you know, we did a resolution, and the resolution has changed.
It does make it a simpler process. I mean, I think it's great. And there's an unintended consequence. I mean, regional needs a set of instructions for the town of Green Mountain Falls, that when someone comes in for a permit, if it's architectural in nature,
Before they issue.
before they issue.
We
That's
don't
right.
review just for architecture.
Well, yeah, I
We
agree.
review the whole green checklist.
Yeah.
So I think your idea of reinstituting the stamp on all drawings is how to solve this.
Yeah. But so we need the folks at regional.
Write them a letter and say,
Yeah.
don't give them a stamp drawings.
So that's-
Simple.
Okay.
Yeah,
I mean,
that-
If that were, I mean, I like simple.
It's kind of checks and balance, yeah.
It used to work.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
Yeah, so just gotta get it going.
I'm wondering, this address looks very familiar, and
Yeah,
was
that's
this-
Scott, that's Ronnie Hopper.
Okay,
Yep.
So I had a conversation with him about his renovations prior to even all of the approval process. And I thought he was going to be bringing, at that time, I didn't know his exact address, but I told him he needed to bring his plans before you guys to get approval. So
Yeah,
he
some
was
of
made
our
aware.
contractors go directly to regional and they talk them into giving a permit without us even seeing them. That's happened in the past too. So I'd like to make a motion that the town clerk send a letter with your signature to regional saying they should not issue any building permits without seeing drawings that are stamped and signed by the planning commission chairman.
What about plumbing or electrical?
Yeah, any, they have to have drawings for anywhere.
Yeah, but if it's. if
You're not
it's-
certifying the plumbing is correct.
No, but I mean, we don't, if remodeling their kitchen, that doesn't fall under the scope of the planning commission.
Yes, it does.
How so?
They have to bring the drawings here.
So we have to know what their kitchen looks like.
Well, I haven't found that in the code.
Well, it depends on the scope of,
Yeah, if
Sorry.
you're changing the.
as far as I understand it, it depends on the scope of the renovation. If it's
Yeah.
a repair of a sink or something, it's not, but.
But even like, if you're putting your cabinets in,
Yeah,
you don't have to get those approved, you have to get plumbing work approved or electrical
Yeah.
work approved, but the
Planning
cabinet in
commission.
your kitchen, you don't have to get that approved by the planning commission or by me.
yeah, if you're changing the appearance, changing windows, changing the roof, changing the footprint where setbacks are concerned with new construction.
So you're saying the work that was done was something that would have had to be,
Yeah, it changed the outside appearance,
The outside,
the outside.
sorry, I'm just,
So the inside certainly doesn't fall under architectural review. And it doesn't change the footprint, so setbacks and use don't change. So that's why I don't see,
Okay.
there's,
Don't you charge for materials? Don't you tax them?
But that's the use tax.
that's the use tax that would be collected at regional.
I think you've got me, and that not all work has to come through the planning commission. You're correct.
So it would be, so we want the letter to be clear to regional.
Mr. Chairman, I think it states it in our resolution that we signed with or the agreement that we assigned. We have an IGA and a resolution, and I think it states it in both of those. So I will get a copy and I'll
Send it
send
out.
it to you, and then if that
Take a look
suffices.
at
Okay.
that sounds good, thank you.
Okay.
I have one more, just a short little blurb here.
Sure.
I checked, and just because we're all sort of fairly new here, the sunshine law, and it does apply to commissioners and board members together. And so
Your
I
letter
was
was
not,
fine.
yeah, so I was just clarifying that, so like, three of us cannot be hanging out, talking in town. So I just wanted to make that, you know,
Two can
But
talk.
two can talk.
Okay, so two can go down and talk about, look at,
It's,
do a,
if you
what about site
write
visit,
3
before
or
it was good,
more
a site visit.
board members.
But that-
That was under town, that was under,
Needs
that
to
was
be an
under
open
the,
public
under
meeting.
the town meeting.
we can't have a drink
Planning
and talk about what they can do with the town.
right.
Here's the basic principle. When we sit as commissioners, we are in a quasi judicial role. It's important for us to keep an open mind on any items that are brought to us for a decision. So it's inappropriate for us to discuss anything that's coming our way before it reaches us. And then to have the discussion from the public and the petitioners. We should not call each other up and say, what do you think about this? Don't send emails to each other saying, hey, I'm gonna vote this, don't do that.
No.
So I
I
think
don't think we've
I
done
think we
that.
all.
Yeah.
Haven't done that,
I don't
but
think we've done that.
I just wanted to clarify that it does mean like if you're with a board member and two planning commission.
Right.
You know, 'cause I just wanted
Right,
to
we
share
have
that
to
with the
follow
public, 'cause
sunshine law.
I learned that, you know, well,
I haven't seen any gross violations
No.
of sunshine.
not with this board,
No. We kept it pretty clean.
you guys are good.
Just like Victor, I would have loved to call you at your office and said, Victor, back off this position on keeping, go this way. I can't do that on the phone to you, I can do it here while you're here and the audience is here. That's the way to do it, but not, I haven't talked to you on the phone,
That
I
wasn't. the
haven't
way
come to
it
your
was.
place.
That's
Can't
not
do
the way
that.
it used to be. That's right.
Yeah, I should have said
We're,
that when you
we're
go.
running a bug ship,
No, you did.
We're-
You did.
it's good,
Jeez.
okay,
Real good?
okay, thanks you guys, and thanks for getting your pictures.
At 7:54.
Okay,
Thank you.
good job, you guys.
Okay. Good meeting. Good meeting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.